everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys don't mind that I'm sitting in a chair for this video because I am lazy and didn't feel like standing, but I have been so excited to film this video because I've had these Google Forms survey responses sitting on my phone unopened for probably about 3 days at this point, and I am extremely excited to see what some of them say. Obviously, you guys already read the title of the video, so you at least have a general idea of what we're going to be doing today, but just to give you a brief explanation, I basically went on Google Forms, I made a survey or like a little quiz thing, and I sent it to every single boy that I have ever had a crush on. Now, I don't remember exactly how many people I sent this to, but I did end up getting 7 responses, which is honestly a lot better than I expected. And obviously I haven't read any of the actual Google Forms responses yet, but just from the reactions I got from sending the link to people, I can already say that everyone was super chill about it. So thank you so much to everyone who took the time to send in a response. You guys are giving me the quality content that I need, and I'm very much here for it, so I appreciate you for participating. When I originally decided I wanted to do this video, I honestly expected to be super nervous about it, but I'm not gonna lie, it kind of just reinforced the fact that nothing really matters. Like, there are so many things that we miss out on as humans because we're so worried about how people are gonna respond or how it might change our lives, but in the long run, literally nothing matters, and life is so much more fun when you live it out of your comfort zone. So before I get into reading and reacting to everyone's actual responses, I just want to show you guys the blank quiz that I sent to all of these people. So that means I should probably move over here a little bit, and then I can put the quiz up here. So this is the quiz that I sent to everyone, and at the top it says, surprise or maybe not, if you received this quiz, I had a crush on you at some point in my life. Congratulations, if you're reading this, you've earned the chance to participate in a video that I'm filming for my YouTube channel. I created this quiz to send to everyone I've ever had a crush on in hopes that some of you will decide to be a good sport and fill it out honestly so I can react to them for a video. I feel the need to clarify that this is not an attempt to make a move, and most of these crushes were from when I was younger. So again, this is entirely for entertainment purposes, and I hope you can all take a few minutes of your day to help me get some good content for YouTube. And then for the questions, I started off by asking them for their first name and last initial just so I know who was sending in the response, and then I also gave them the option of being anonymous if they wanted to. And then the rest of the questions were, did you know I had a crush on you? Yes, no, or maybe but I wasn't entirely sure. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? When do you think I had a crush on you? Did you ever like me? Yes, no, or maybe a little bit. Rate my attractiveness on a scale from big oof to hella cute. Rate my personality on a scale from basically a saltine cracker to you're super cool. Favorite thing about me, least favorite thing about me. Name one awkward memory you have of me, or a good one if you can't think of any, but awkward is more entertaining, LMAO. How awkward was this quiz on a scale from it's chill to kill me now, and then any final words for YouTube. So I'm not going to be doing these in any particular order, I'm just going to go through them in the order that I received them, but this first person wanted to be anonymous, so I'll blur out his name for him, but let's read his responses. Did you know that I had a crush on you? He said yes, and I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a little concerned if he didn't because it was very blatantly obvious. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? He said we kissed, lol, yep, that'll do it. When do you think I had a crush on you? He said middle to late high school, which is correct. Did you ever like me? He said yes, which again, we've already kind of established that at this point. Rate my attractiveness, he gave me a 9, that is very generous, but thank you. Rate my personality, he gave me a 10, you're too nice. Honestly though, I'm still friends with most of the people that I sent these to, so I don't expect to get any super low scores because people probably don't want me to be offended, but you never know, we'll see. Favorite thing about me, he said my hair, thank you very much. I get the feeling that'll be probably a fairly common response because I get that a lot. Least favorite thing about me, honestly nothing I can think of, thank you very much, but there are plenty of things not to like about me. Name one awkward memory you have of me. He said I went to a dance with you, oh gosh. I went to a dance with you at your school and guys were wearing camo tuxedos, was definitely a lot to process. You know what, that's fair. My hometown was definitely a lot to process. I'm glad I could give you the opportunity to experience the wonderful dumpster fire that was my high school. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 4, which is fair, and then any final words for YouTube? Hey, very insightful, thank you for that. And let's move on to our next response. Alright, this next one is Tristan, and we did theater together for quite a while. He was actually one of my best friends at the theater program that we used to do together. So did you know that I had a crush on you? He said yes, and again, I would hope so, it was pretty obvious. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? He said I put my arm around you when we were like 10 and you didn't hit me. You know, that's fair. I actually think I still have a picture of that exact day that my mom took of us in the green room on the couch. I also remember everyone coming up to me after that and getting insanely excited because everyone knew that I had a crush on you, and they were like, well, he put his arm around you, so clearly he's in love. Literally everyone in that cast was so determined to get us to start dating that the second they saw us hanging out literally ever, which was basically always because we were kind of attached at the hip that year, they'd be like, all right, well, here we go, time to plan the wedding. But anyways, getting back to the questions, when do you think I had a crush on you? He said Broadway Upstate, which is correct. That's the theater program that we did together. Did you ever like me? He said yes, and I would hope so. Like I said, that entire cast was planning our wedding, and you did put your arm around me, which was pretty serious. Rate my attractiveness, he gave me a 5. That's fair. I'm just gonna try not to be offended by that. Rate my personality, he gave me a 10. See, I make up for the looks with my personality. It's fine. Favorite thing about me, he said your giddiness. That is the wrong your, but that's a good answer. I'll take it. Least favorite thing about me, he said I'm not sure. LOL. Fair enough. Name one awkward memory you have of me. All of them. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. How awkward was this quiz? A 3. And any final words for YouTube? What up? Alright, moving on to number 3. This person also wanted to be anonymous. Did you know that I had a crush on you? They said no, which is fair. I don't think it was super obvious. When do you think I had a crush on you? They said I have no clue, which is kind of surprising because we only really interacted all that much at one point in time, and that was when we worked together, so that's when it was. Did you ever like me? He said maybe a little bit. That's fair. Rate my attractiveness. He gave me a 9, which is again very generous, but thank you. Rate my personality. He gave me another 9. Thank you. Favorite thing about me? He said very outgoing. Least favorite thing about me? He said nothing. You people are too nice. There are definitely plenty of things not to like about me, and I'm hoping at least one of you will roast me. Name one awkward memory you have of me, or a good one if you can't think of any. He said a good memory is when we used to work together. That's very true. I honestly miss working there. That was probably the best group of, not even probably, that was definitely by far the best group of coworkers that I've ever had, and you guys made that job so much fun. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 1, which is good. I sent this quiz to plenty of people, and I didn't think it was that awkward, but I wasn't sure what other people would think. And any final words for YouTube? He said follow her, she's amazing and cool. Hashtag I'm not sponsored. You heard the man, you gotta do what he says. Alright, the next person is Jessie, and we worked together for a little while at the Great Escape during Fright Fest. Did you know that I had a crush on you? He said yes. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? He said friends talk, word gets around. Yeah, that makes sense. Listen, I loved everyone that worked at Fright Fest. I made some incredible friends there, but boy, could they not be trusted to keep a secret. When do you think I had a crush on you? He said Fright Fest 2018 when we first met and became friends. Yes, that is correct. Did you ever like me? He said no, which I already knew because again, friends talk, word gets around. Rate my attractiveness. He gave me a 6, which is fair. That's probably about what I would give myself. Rate my personality. He gave me a 9. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Favorite thing about me? He said having something you're passionate about, like YouTube, totally makes you unique and it inspires people. Aw, that's really nice. Thank you. Least favorite thing about me? He said sometimes I get excited that I got a snap and get a link to your latest video. It's cool. I understand that the grind doesn't stop. LOL. Yeah, that's completely understandable. Honestly, I get complaints on both sides of this argument because there are some people who don't like it when I send links, which, like I said, is completely understandable. But there are also people who get upset with me when I don't send links because that's the only way that they know when I post. So there's really no solution that's gonna make everyone happy just because I'm not gonna remember exactly who wants links and who doesn't. So I might just start posting them only on my story, but we'll see. Name one awkward memory you have of me. He said, as the king of awkward scenarios, past, present, and future, I am blissfully unaware of any awkward situations, so I'm left with nothing. Yeah, as the queen of awkward scenarios, past, present, and future, I feel that on a spiritual level. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 1. Good. Honestly, I'm glad you guys don't think this was too awkward because I'm having a great time and it's gonna make for some great content. And any final words for YouTube? He said, wash your drugs, eat your hands, don't do vegetables. That is some high quality advice to live by. What an absolute legend. Alright, next up is Mikey. We did theater together in college. Did you know that I had a crush on you? He said yes, which is understandable because it was very obvious. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? He said friends from theater told me eventually. My goodness, I just can't trust anyone to keep a secret, can I? When do you think I had a crush on you? He said during our first play in theater. That is correct. Did you ever like me? He said yes, and Mikey, I love you to death, but I'm calling BS on that one because I don't believe that for a second. Although I will say that you were very hard to read because on any normal day at any normal time, I was 100% convinced that you didn't like me. But then there were also times like the camping trip that we went on with all of our theater friends where you would get really drunk and then ask me to be your girlfriend and refuse to go into the tent to go to sleep unless I came and cuddled with you. I don't know, my guy, you were like the king of mixed signals. But anyways, getting back to the questions, rate my attractiveness, he gave me an 8, I'll take that. Rate my personality, he gave me a 10, thank you, that's very nice. Favorite thing about me, he said the way you express yourself in whatever weird cool dance movement with your feet. You know, I always tried my best to teach Mikey how to dance whenever we had rehearsals, and you know what, he tried his best, I'll give him that much. Least favorite thing about me, he said not really anything. My goodness, someone needs to roast me. Name one awkward memory you have of me, he said when I accidentally hit your eye contact. I'm still sorry for that, by the way. Mikey, you don't have to be sorry, it's totally fine. So what happened was we were in a scene together, and I don't remember the exact scenario of the scene, but it was something to the effect of that he was supposed to be reaching out to grab me and I had to like push his hand away or something. But I think we just started the scene and I wasn't really paying attention, so he went to grab for me like he was supposed to, but I did not deflect his arm, and he basically just slapped my contact lens right off my cornea. Mikey, I know you felt really bad about that, but I'm not gonna lie, it was genuinely hilarious. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 5, that's fair. And any final words for YouTube? He said hope your channel keeps growing and keep up the Minecraft videos on Tori Plays. I know I've really been slacking off with my gaming channel, but it's because I'm trying to focus so hard on this one, so I'll try to get back into my gaming channel, and I'd honestly love to start an Among Us series, so let me know if any of you guys would want to watch that. But moving on to number 6, this is Daniel. Did you know that I had a crush on you? He said no, which is completely understandable since we barely ever interacted. We talked a few times, and I have a picture of him hanging out of the window of his dorm room on like the 4th floor of the dorms, which is pretty lit, but honestly I just kind of thought he was cute. When do you think I had a crush on you? He said I'm thinking college, which is correct because that's really the only time we ever interacted. Did you ever like me? He said no, which I already could have guessed. Rate my attractiveness, he gave me a 7, I'll take that. Rate my personality, he gave me a 10. Hey, at least everyone thinks I have a good personality. Favorite thing about me, he said creativity and drive to maintain a consistent YouTube personality. Alright. And least favorite thing about me, he said, couldn't say because I don't know you well. Don't worry, I'm not just trying to be nice. Alright, well I guess I have to give up on my hope of someone roasting me during this video because the next person is the last one and I already know who it is and I can basically guarantee he's too nice to say anything mean. Name one awkward memory you have of me. He said, I was so big during college that I barely remember my own roommates, let alone anything else. You know what? Fair enough. Good answer. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 4. And any final words for YouTube? He said Assassin Productions for the boys. You heard it here first. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. I'm honestly surprised more people haven't used this question for shameless plugs, but props to you. Alright, our last response is from Devin. We did some theater together in college, and then we also did an internship together a little bit after that. Did you know that I had a crush on you? He said yes, which honestly surprises me a little bit. If you answered yes to the last question, how did you know? He said you described your crush or what you were looking for in a person and it was pretty specific. Also, I'm pretty sure you were looking at me while doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember that at all, but knowing myself and how insanely awkward I am, it doesn't surprise me in the least. When do you think I had a crush on you? He said while we were working on You Have the Right to Remain Dead, but I'm pretty sure you were over it by Pukas and Yams. That is exactly correct, and just for a little bit of reference, You Have the Right to Remain Dead was a show that we did together in college, and Pukas and Yams was the show that we did for the internship after that. Did you ever like me? He said no, which I already knew. Rate my attractiveness, he gave me a 6. Like I said, that's about what I would give myself, so I can't argue with that. Rate my personality, he gave me a 9. Thank you, that's very kind. Favorite thing about me, he said you're funny. Thank you. Least favorite thing about me, he said I haven't seen you in a hot minute, so nothing comes to mind. Yeah, that's fair, it's definitely been a while. Name one awkward memory you have of me. He said probably you describing your crush as me while we were in the same room. Like you basically described me down to my shirt but never really said anything to me. Like I said, I do not remember that at all, but I apologize for being the most awkward human being on the planet. How awkward was this quiz? He gave it a 1. And any final words? He said, for the record, I did not like you because of anything you did or who you are. You were just way too young for me and I was seeing someone else at the time. Well, thank you, and yeah, no, I completely understand. No hard feelings. Alright, that was our last Google Forms response, so thank you again to everyone who sent one in. It was super awesome of you guys to actually take some time out of your day to help me out with a video. I've definitely always been the type of person who likes to break out of their comfort zone, so this video was a lot of fun for me. If anyone has any ideas for videos that are similar to this one, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and there's always a chance that I'll try them out. But I think that's it for this video, so if you guys liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below to become a Toridactyl, and leave me a comment letting me know what I should do for future videos. As always, I'll leave the links to my social medias in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!